Before we talk about the teas that may help support your kidneys, we need to understand something incredibly important. Your kidneys are working for you every single minute of every single day, whether you think about them or not. Most people wake up in the morning and think about their heart, their weight, their energy levels, or maybe their blood pressure. Very few people wake up and think, how are my kidneys doing today? Yet these remarkable organs perform one of the most important jobs in the human body. Every day, your kidneys filter your blood, remove waste products, balance fluids, regulate minerals, and help maintain healthy blood pressure. They are constantly working behind the scenes to keep your internal environment stable. Think of them as your body's natural filtration system, operating 24 hours a day without ever taking a break. The problem is that modern lifestyles often place an enormous burden on these hardworking organs. Consider the average day for many people: sugary drinks instead of water, highly processed foods loaded with sodium, constant snacking, poor sleep, chronic stress, long periods of sitting, elevated blood sugar levels. All of these factors can gradually increase the workload placed on the kidneys. What's especially concerning is that kidney problems often develop silently. Unlike some health conditions that announce themselves with obvious symptoms, declining kidney function can progress for years without causing noticeable discomfort. Many people assume that if they feel fine, everything must be fine. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. By the time obvious symptoms appear, significant damage may already have occurred. This is why prevention matters so much. I often tell people that the most powerful medical strategy is not treating disease after it develops. It's creating an environment in which disease has a much harder time developing in the first place. Small daily habits, repeated consistently over months and years, can have a profound impact on long-term health. One of the biggest misconceptions is that supporting kidney health requires complicated treatments or expensive supplements. In reality, some of the most effective strategies are remarkably simple: staying adequately hydrated, managing blood sugar levels, reducing excessive sodium intake, maintaining a healthy weight, being physically active, getting enough sleep. These foundational habits help reduce unnecessary stress on the kidneys and support their ability to function efficiently. Another important concept to understand is that the kidneys do not work alone. They are part of an interconnected system. What affects your metabolism affects your kidneys. What affects your blood pressure affects your kidneys. What affects your hydration status affects your kidneys. Everything is connected. That's why when we discuss natural approaches such as herbal teas, we shouldn't think of them as magic solutions. Instead, we should view them as tools that may complement an overall healthy lifestyle. The goal is not to look for a quick fix. The goal is to create daily routines that support the body's natural processes. And here's the encouraging news: your body is incredibly resilient. When you begin making better choices, your body often responds faster than you expect. More energy, better hydration, improved well-being, greater awareness of how your daily habits affect your health. These positive changes can create momentum that motivates you to continue. The journey toward better kidney health doesn't start with perfection. It starts with awareness. It starts with understanding the incredible work your kidneys perform every day and deciding that they deserve your support. Because when you protect your kidneys today, you're investing in your health for years to come. Your kidneys work tirelessly for you every day. It's time to start working for them. Now, once people begin thinking seriously about kidney health, they often come across one word everywhere: detox. It's on social media, it's on product labels, it's in advertisements. You'll see promises of miraculous cleanses, special drinks, expensive powders, and quick fix programs claiming to remove toxins from your body in just a few days. And I think it's important that we separate marketing from biology. When most people hear the word detox, they imagine that toxins are somehow building up inside the body and that a special product is needed to flush everything out. But the reality is far more interesting and far more empowering. Your body already has an incredibly sophisticated detoxification system. You were born with it. Every minute of every day, your kidneys are filtering your blood. Your liver is processing substances that enter your body. Your lungs help remove waste gases. Your digestive system eliminates materials your body no longer needs. These systems are constantly working together to maintain balance and protect your health. In other words, detoxification isn't something your body does once a month. It's something your body does every second. The real question isn't whether you need a detox. The real question is whether you're supporting the systems that already detoxify your body naturally. Think about it this way. Imagine you own a highly advanced water filtration plant. If that plant is working efficiently, your focus shouldn't be on buying magical cleaning products every week. Your focus should be on making sure the plant has everything it needs to function properly. The same principle applies to your body. Your kidneys don't need miracle cures, they need support. One of the simplest examples is hydration. When people are chronically dehydrated, the kidneys have a harder time maintaining proper fluid balance. Water isn't glamorous. It doesn't come with flashy marketing claims, yet it remains one of the most important tools for supporting normal kidney function. The same applies to nutrition. Many modern diets are filled with ultra-processed foods, excessive sugar, and large amounts of sodium. These foods can create additional stress on the body's regulatory systems over time. Meanwhile, whole foods, vegetables, adequate protein, and balanced nutrition provide the building blocks the body needs to function effectively. Then there's blood sugar. One of the most significant threats to long-term kidney health is chronically elevated blood glucose. Over time, high blood sugar can damage the delicate filtering structures inside the kidneys. This is one reason why metabolic health and kidney health are so closely connected. You simply cannot separate the two. If you're supporting healthy blood sugar levels, you're also helping support your kidneys. And let's not forget sleep. Many people underestimate the importance of restorative sleep. During sleep, the body performs countless maintenance and repair processes. Poor sleep can affect hormones, blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, and inflammation. All factors that can indirectly influence kidney health. Stress also plays a role. Chronic stress affects nearly every system in the body. Elevated stress hormones can contribute to unhealthy habits, poor sleep, increased blood pressure, and metabolic dysfunction. While stress itself isn't a toxin, the physiological effects of chronic stress can place additional burdens on the body's natural balancing systems. This is why I encourage people to think differently about detoxification. Instead of asking, what product can detox my body? Ask, how can I help my body do what it's already designed to do? That's a much more powerful question, because once you understand that your body already possesses remarkable detoxification abilities, you stop chasing shortcuts and start focusing on fundamentals. You start drinking more water. You start improving your diet. You start prioritizing sleep. You start becoming more physically active. You start reducing the habits that create unnecessary stress on your body's natural systems. And here's what's fascinating. These simple habits often produce results that are far more meaningful than any trendy cleanse ever could. This doesn't mean certain foods, herbs, or teas can't be helpful. They may absolutely play a supportive role as part of a healthy lifestyle, but they work best when they're helping an already functioning system, not when they're expected to compensate for unhealthy habits. The goal is never to force your body to detox. The goal is to give your body what it needs so it can do its job well. And with that understanding in mind, let's look at 3 teas that have been valued for generations as natural ways to support hydration, wellness, and kidney health. True detox begins when you support your body's natural wisdom, not when you chase quick fixes. Now that we've established what true detoxification really means, supporting the body's natural systems rather than chasing quick fixes, let's begin our countdown with tea number 3. This is a tea that millions of people around the world already enjoy every day. It's simple, widely available, affordable, and backed by a growing body of scientific interest. I'm talking about green tea. What's fascinating about green tea is that it has been consumed for centuries, long before modern laboratories existed. People didn't understand antioxidants, polyphenols, or cellular stress back then, yet generation after generation continued drinking it because they noticed something important. They felt better when it was part of their routine. Today, science gives us some clues as to why. Green tea contains natural compounds called catechins, which are powerful antioxidants. Antioxidants help combat oxidative stress, a process that occurs naturally in the body but can become excessive due to poor diet, environmental exposures, chronic illness, and aging. Think of oxidative stress like rust forming on metal. A small amount may be unavoidable, but when it accumulates over time, it can contribute to wear and tear throughout the body. Antioxidants help counteract some of that damage, supporting healthier cells and tissues. Now, why does this matter for kidney health? The kidneys are constantly filtering large volumes of blood every single day. Because of the tremendous amount of work they perform, they can be affected by oxidative stress and inflammation. Researchers continue exploring whether antioxidant-rich foods and beverages may help support overall kidney wellness by reducing some of these burdens. It's important to understand that green tea is not a treatment for kidney disease. It's not a cure. It's not a substitute for medical care. But as part of an overall healthy lifestyle, it may provide supportive benefits that contribute to better long-term health. And that's really the theme of everything we're discussing today. Small advantages, small improvements, small daily habits that add up over time. One of the things I particularly appreciate about green tea is that it often replaces less healthy beverages. Think about the choices many people make throughout the day. Sugary soft drinks, sweetened coffee beverages, energy drinks packed with sugar and artificial ingredients. Replacing just one of those drinks with a cup of unsweetened green tea can be a meaningful step in the right direction. Sometimes health isn't about adding more things, sometimes it's about making better substitutions. Another interesting aspect of green tea is its relationship with metabolic health. As many of you know, I spend a great deal of time discussing insulin, blood sugar, and metabolic dysfunction because these factors influence so many chronic health conditions. Healthy metabolism and healthy kidneys are deeply connected. When blood sugar levels remain elevated over long periods, the kidneys can experience significant strain. Supporting metabolic health through better nutrition and healthier beverage choices may indirectly support kidney health as well. Again, green tea isn't magic. But when combined with a healthy lifestyle, it can fit beautifully into a strategy focused on long-term wellness. Now, let's talk about preparation. One mistake many people make is loading green tea with sugar. If you take a beverage known for its health-supporting properties and then add several spoonfuls of sugar, you're often undermining some of the very benefits you're trying to achieve. The simplest approach is often the best. Steep the tea according to the package instructions. Enjoy it plain if possible. If needed, a small amount of natural flavoring such as lemon may enhance the taste without turning it into a sugary dessert. Moderation is also important. Green tea naturally contains caffeine. While the amount is generally lower than coffee, individuals who are sensitive to caffeine may prefer to drink it earlier in the day. Everyone responds differently, so it's wise to pay attention to how your body feels. What I find most powerful about green tea isn't just what's inside the cup, it's what the habit represents. Imagine starting your day with a few quiet moments, a warm cup in your hands, a deliberate choice to do something positive for your health, a reminder that wellness is built one decision at a time. That daily ritual can become part of a larger transformation because every healthy habit reinforces the next one. You drink more water, more, You make better food choices. You move your body more often. You sleep a little better. You become more aware of your health. And before long, those small actions begin producing meaningful results. Green tea earns its place on this list, not because it's a miracle cure, but because it represents a simple, sustainable habit that may support overall wellness while fitting naturally into a healthy lifestyle. The healthiest choices are rarely the most dramatic. They're the ones you can repeat every single day. Now let's move to tea number 2 on our countdown, and this is where things start to get particularly interesting. While green tea is widely known around the world, the next tea has a much longer history in traditional herbal wellness practices. For generations, people have turned to this plant when they wanted to support fluid balance, digestion, and overall well-being. I'm talking about dandelion tea. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Dandelion, the same plant that grows in lawns and gardens? Yes, exactly. It's a perfect reminder that some of nature's most fascinating plants are often hiding in plain sight. What many people consider an ordinary weed has actually been used in traditional herbal practices for centuries. One reason dandelion tea has attracted so much attention is because of its reputation as a natural diuretic. A diuretic is something that helps increase urine production. This is significant because one of the kidney's primary responsibilities is regulating fluid balance throughout the body. Proper fluid movement helps support many important physiological processes. Now, whenever people hear the word diuretic, they sometimes assume that more is always better. But that's not how the body works. Balance is always the goal. The purpose isn't to force the body into extreme fluid loss. The purpose is to support normal function and maintain healthy fluid regulation. This is one reason why traditional herbal teas have remained popular. They tend to be incorporated into daily routines rather than used as aggressive interventions. What makes dandelion especially interesting is that it contains a variety of naturally occurring plant compounds that researchers continue to study. While science is still exploring many of these properties, dandelion has long been appreciated as part of wellness traditions focused on supporting the body's natural elimination processes. And if you've been following our discussion so far, you'll notice a recurring theme: support, not force. Support. That's the key. The healthiest strategies are often the ones that work with the body rather than against it. I think that's an important lesson in today's world. We are constantly encouraged to seek dramatic solutions, extreme diets, extreme cleanses, extreme promises. Yet the human body generally thrives on consistency rather than extremes. A simple cup of herbal tea enjoyed regularly may seem insignificant, but when combined with proper hydration, healthy eating, physical activity, and good sleep, it becomes part of a much larger picture. Another reason many people enjoy dandelion tea is that it encourages hydration itself. Remember, hydration is one of the foundational pillars of kidney support. Sometimes people struggle to drink enough fluids because they become bored with plain water. Herbal teas can provide variety while still contributing to overall fluid intake. That's an important point because healthy habits need to be sustainable. The best health plan isn't the one that looks impressive for 3 days. It's the one you can maintain for 3 years. Dandelion tea can fit nicely into that philosophy. It's simple. It's accessible. It can be enjoyed warm and calming, particularly during moments when you're trying to slow down and become more intentional about your health. Now, as with any herbal product, there are important considerations. Natural does not automatically mean appropriate for everyone. Some individuals may have allergies to plants in the same botanical family as dandelion. Others may be taking medications or managing health conditions that require special consideration. That's why it's always wise to consult a qualified healthcare professional before making significant changes to your routine, especially if you have existing kidney disease or other medical concerns. This is another reason I encourage people to think critically whenever they hear health claims. Be cautious of anyone who promises miracles. Be cautious of anyone who claims a single tea can solve every problem. Health rarely works that way. The body is far more complex and far more intelligent than any one product. What we want are habits that consistently move us in the right direction, and that's where dandelion tea shines. It isn't about dramatic transformation overnight. It's about creating an environment that supports your body's natural processes day after day, week after week, year after year. When you start viewing health through that lens, everything changes. You stop searching for shortcuts and start building routines. You stop chasing miracle cures and start developing sustainable habits. And those habits are often where the real results come from. Dandelion tea earns the number 2 spot because it reflects one of the most powerful principles in health. Gentle, consistent support often accomplishes more than extreme intervention. The body responds best when you work with it, not when you fight against it. And now we've arrived at the number 1 tea on our list. If you've stayed with me this far, you've probably noticed a pattern. None of the teas we've discussed are miracle cures. None of them are magic solutions. Instead, they represent simple, natural habits that may support the body's existing systems when combined with a healthy lifestyle. Our final tea follows that same philosophy, but it has earned a special reputation among herbal enthusiasts for generations. Tea number 1 is nettle leaf tea. Now, nettle is one of those plants that many people have heard about but know very little about. In the wild, stinging nettle is famous for causing a temporary prickling sensation when touched. But once the leaves are properly prepared and dried, they can be used to create a tea that has been valued in traditional herbal practices for centuries. What makes nettle leaf tea so interesting is its nutritional profile. Unlike many beverages that provide little more than flavor, nettle contains a variety of naturally occurring vitamins, minerals, and plant compounds. While we're not talking about enormous quantities, these nutrients contribute to the plant's long-standing reputation as a supportive wellness beverage. Historically, nettle has been used in traditions focused on urinary health and overall vitality. Over time, many people came to view it as a plant that supports the body's natural balance, particularly when it comes to fluid regulation and wellness routines. And when we're discussing kidney health, that idea of balance becomes incredibly important. Remember, the kidneys are constantly working to maintain equilibrium inside the body. They help regulate fluids, electrolytes, and waste removal. Every day, they perform countless tasks that most of us never even think about. The challenge is that we often take these functions for granted until something goes wrong. That's why I encourage people to focus on supporting health before problems arise. Nettle tea fits beautifully into that preventive mindset. Rather than waiting for symptoms to appear, you're building habits that encourage better hydration, greater awareness, and healthier daily routines. A warm cup of tea can become a small reminder that your health deserves attention every single day. One of the reasons nettle tea has remained popular for so long is that it tends to be easy to incorporate into daily life. You don't need expensive equipment. You don't need complicated recipes. You don't need to overhaul your entire routine overnight. You simply make a cup of tea. That simplicity matters more than many people realize. Often when people decide to improve their health, they create plans that are so complicated they become impossible to maintain. They promise themselves they'll change everything at once. They'll exercise 2 hours a day. They'll completely transform their diet. They'll never eat another unhealthy meal. And what happens? A few weeks later, they're overwhelmed. Real health transformation usually doesn't happen that way. It happens through small actions repeated consistently. One healthy meal, one walk around the neighborhood, one extra glass of water, one better decision today than yesterday, and perhaps one cup of tea that becomes part of a sustainable routine. That's why I like discussing simple habits. They're realistic, they're achievable, and most importantly, they can be maintained for years. Now, As with every herbal tea we've discussed, moderation and common sense are essential. Individuals with medical conditions, allergies, or those taking medications should always speak with a qualified healthcare professional before adding herbal products to their routine. Personal health situations vary, and what works for one person may not be appropriate for another. But for many people looking to build healthier habits, nettle tea can be one piece of a larger wellness strategy. And that's really what this entire discussion has been about. Not finding one magical ingredient, not searching for one secret remedy, not believing that a single food or beverage can compensate for an unhealthy lifestyle. Instead, it's about creating an environment where your body can function at its best. Green tea introduced us to the power of antioxidants and healthier beverage choices. Dandelion tea reminded us of the importance of supporting natural fluid balance. And nettle tea brings everything together by highlighting a simple truth. Long-term health is built through daily habits, not dramatic interventions. When people ask me what the best health strategy is, they're often expecting a complicated answer, but the truth is usually much simpler. Support your body consistently. Respect the systems that keep you alive. Give yourself the tools to thrive, and repeat those choices day after day. Nettle leaf tea earns the #1 spot because it represents the most important lesson of all. The greatest health changes often begin with the smallest daily habits. Your future health is shaped not by what you do occasionally, but by what you do consistently. As we come to the end of our discussion, I want to leave you with perhaps the most important message of all. The 3 teas we've talked about today, green tea, dandelion tea, and nettle leaf tea, can certainly be valuable additions to a healthy lifestyle. They may support hydration, provide beneficial plant compounds, and help reinforce positive daily habits. But if there's one thing I hope you remember after watching this, it's that no tea, no supplement, and no single food can do the work of an entire lifestyle. Health is never about one thing. It's about the combination of choices you make day after day. Think about your kidneys for a moment. These remarkable organs never ask for recognition. They never take a vacation. They never call in sick. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, they work tirelessly to keep your body in balance. The question is, are we giving them the support they deserve? One of the simplest ways to do that is through proper hydration. Now, hydration doesn't mean forcing yourself to drink excessive amounts of water. More is not always better. The goal is to stay adequately hydrated throughout the day and pay attention to your body's signals. Many people walk around mildly dehydrated without even realizing it. They feel tired, sluggish, unfocused, and assume it's simply part of getting older or living a busy life. Sometimes the solution is far simpler than they imagine. Water remains one of the most powerful tools for supporting normal kidney function. The next piece of the puzzle is nutrition. What you eat today influences how your body functions tomorrow. Highly processed foods, excessive sugar, and large amounts of sodium can create unnecessary challenges for the body's regulatory systems. On the other hand, whole foods, vegetables, healthy fats, quality protein sources, and nutrient-dense meals provide the foundation for long-term wellness. I often tell people that health doesn't have to be complicated. Most of the time, we already know what healthier choices look like. The challenge isn't knowledge. The challenge is consistency. Then there's blood sugar control, which is one of the most important factors affecting long-term kidney health. Elevated blood glucose levels over time can place tremendous stress on the delicate filtering structures within the kidneys. This is why metabolic health matters so much. Every positive step you take toward maintaining healthy blood sugar levels is also a step toward supporting your kidneys.